Oh, we're back. Reddit on Wiki starts now.
Get therapy.
What's going on, Wikimaniacs? Welcome back to another Am I the Asshole Friday. I'm your host, Josh. After his hiatus, which, to be fair, ended up only being like a week of recording episodes coming out. Yeah. John's back from vacation.
Hello.
What's going on?
I don't know how to do this anymore. What are we supposed to do?
I read Reddit stories, you react to them.
Oh, that's right. Takes. That's right.
Yeah. So yeah, it's only been because I think your last episode came out like a week ago with
Dustin, right?
Yeah.
Shout out Dustin. What a goat.
But I haven't talked to you in 2 weeks, so
I know
is probably the longest we've gone without talking since we started the podcast. It'd be close. One of your other holidays, maybe, but
I mean, earlier this year too, I had a 2-week time.
Oh, you did, yeah. Shit.
But I was popping in every now and then.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, Sean is still in Italy enjoying the sun and the views, it looks like. Him and Nancy are having a good time. So before we hop into the show today, I do have a couple quick shout outs to do. Parmesan, one of our goats, is running a 5K for charity. So we'll put the link in the description. You have until October 18th to donate, but it's for the Children's National Hospital Foundation. So shout out to Parmesan for running the 5K. And if you can donate, feel free to hit the link in the description and send Parmesan some money for the charity. Wallscore, our other goat.
The liar.
The liar from our call-in episode, which, by the way, if you're not a $15 tier, the last call-in episode we did, one of the best episodes I think we've ever done. It was incredible.
I'm boycotting the last caller. If you know who you are, you know who you fucking are.
But it was one of the most fun episodes we've ever done. Interacting with the Wikimaniacs and stuff.
Ryan's wild.
The first one is wild with Ryan.
My guy has so much stories. What the hell happened in your life, dude?
But anyway, sorry. Back to Wallscore, who is setting up Fantasy Goat Ball, obviously inspired by fantasy football. Because football season's back. If you want to get involved, basically what you're doing is each month you'll be drafting a few goats. The Reddit goats, Discord goats, Venmo goats, ops, and hosts. There's rules for each one. Wallscore's got them all written out. It's going to be a learning curve. This is obviously a very new thing. So if you want to get involved and try it out for the first month, head to our Discord. There will be a Discord channel called Fantasy Goat Ball. Wallscore will be in there conducting how it's going to run. And then each month, the winner will get some sort of merch prize we're going to be giving away.
Hell yeah.
So, it's a cool way to get involved with the Discord and with the goats as well. So check that out. The link will be in the description as well to our Discord, and then just go to the Fantasy Goat Ball channel to check that out.
Again, I know who I'm not drafting.
Or maybe you will, because they get brought up so much and you get lots of points.
Hell no. Okay. I don't give a shit if I lose. All right.
Fair enough. But before we hop into our first story, John, is there anything you'd like to shout out?
No, I was going to announce this on the Monday episode, but right on wikishop.com, guys. We have 2 new designs that are out. We have the Emo-ween, just perfect for Halloween by the time you guys get it. And also we have the merch designed by Ryan as well. Shout out Ryan. Also, I don't know if we announced it yet, but for the month of August, it was the second most upvoted charity that we're going to donate. And that one's going to go to 988 Lifeline. And that one is for suicide prevention funding. And we just took the third most upvoted charity that we're going to be donating for September. And this one is going to go towards Best Friends Animal Society.
Hell yeah.
And which is, I'm just looking at my notes here. They put it's an organization that helps shelter become no-kill shelters. Awesome. Which is fitting for me because 1, it's Kevin's birthday month when this episode kind of comes out. And 2, I was looking at their website and one of their Who We Are section, it shows one of their first ever locations the title of the building or I guess the logo in the building says Kitty Motel, which I don't know if this ain't perfect for this month's merch. I don't know what is. So redditonwikishop.com, best believe all of that is going to go towards a good cause. Also, quick plug because Sean is not here and I know it's not a Monday episode. Thank you everyone for, if you've donated in the Venmo in the past, thank you. He's going to be able to read that when he returns from vacation and read all those messages. But best believe 100% of those Venmos go towards organization that supports Palestine. Mm-hmm. I know there's a lot of things that are happening, which is unfortunate right now. So everything that you've given so far, best believe it's going to go towards those charities. So just want to say thank you. And when Sean gets back, we will resume in reading those Venmo messages from you guys.
Awesome. Good call outs, John, and great charities. Super excited to be able to help all those ones out. So with that being said, John, I know you're going to be rusty, but let's hop into the first story of the day.
Let's do this.
All right. This one was cross-posted by I'm Not Good With Words on our subreddit. But Same. It was originally posted on r/Charlotte Dobre YouTube.
Oh, what did she call her fans? Potatoes?
I think so. Yeah. Like yeah.
Hey, Charlotte, if you ever hear this, please collab with us. We beg of you.
Does she still do Reddit stuff? I heard she went on a break.
I'm not sure. I think she was pivoting to something else, but someone can correct me. And I think I follow her on social media. I think she's also having a wedding right now. So incredibly busy. Yeah, don't blame me. And congratulations.
Absolutely.
But please, if you hear it, collab with your boys.
If you ever want to get back into the Reddit game,
we're here. Josh is Canadian.
True.
Come on now.
There, we got that connection.
Now.
Yeah. All right. So first story is titled, Am I the asshole for not telling my husband anything about my pregnancy after he called me disgusting?
Why is he your husband still? That's the question. You might be an asshole for keeping him as your hubby and that, but no, not the asshole. It sounds like your husband is a piece of shit. Why would he call you disgusting if you're pregnant?
Yeah, crazy to call your pregnant wife.
Yeah, come on now.
All right, so I, 38 female, recently had my first baby. My husband, 38 male, and I have been married for 7 years, and things were fine until I got pregnant and everything shifted. For some background, I'm very close with his family, especially my sister-in-law, 26 female. She and her boyfriend are trying for a baby, and one day she asked me what pregnancy was actually like. I didn't go into horror story details. I just told her honestly, yes, I had morning sickness. Yes, my breasts were sore and leaking sometimes. Yes, I was exhausted and had round ligament pain, the normal things. My husband overheard me and snapped and said, "You're disgusting. Why would you even say things like that out loud?" He acted like me describing literal pregnancy symptoms was the most inappropriate thing I could have done. What the fuck?
I would... No violence. Actually, yeah. Slap the shit out of this guy, please.
Took a couple paragraphs for John to jump back into violence.
My God.
I was just so embarrassed and stunned, especially because his sister had asked. And it wasn't just like I was blurting out TMI to strangers, but the way he said it stuck with me. He called me disgusting. So I thought to myself, fine. If my symptoms, my body, and this pregnancy are disgusting to him, then he doesn't need to hear about them. I stopped telling him everything. I didn't tell him when I had headaches, when my back hurt, when I was craving something weird, when I had to go in for extra appointments, nothing. He would just ask how I was doing, and I would just say, fine. If he didn't want the gross truth, then he didn't deserve it. Which I will say, that sounds like you went through that pregnancy by yourself, which sucks so much. Fast forward to when I was in labor. My water broke at home while he was at work. He wasn't there, and since I had already decided not to bother him with pregnancy stuff, I didn't call. Instead, I called his mom and sister, who immediately helped me get to the hospital. They stayed with me, supported me, and were in the waiting room the whole time. I gave birth to our child, a healthy baby girl, and everything went smoothly. The only reason my husband even knew what was happening was because his sister and mom told him. He showed up late after the birth. I didn't text or call him myself, and I honestly didn't feel guilty. He had made it clear he didn't want to hear about my gross pregnancy, so I assumed he didn't want to hear about the labor and delivery either. Now he's furious. He says I humiliated him in front of his family by excluding him from his own child's birth. His mom, aunt, and sister, hell, even his grandma, are absolutely pissed with him for how he treated me. Shout out to the matriarch of that family.
Once. Yeah, usually every time you hear some family members, they tend to support the assholes.
Yeah.
But good on them for calling this piece of shit out.
Yeah, every single one of them are like, no, you're actually a piece of shit, dude.
Yeah.
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 They've been very vocal about it too. His mom told him flat out, you called your wife disgusting for being pregnant with your baby. You don't get to play victim now. His sister has cut him off until he apologizes, and his grandmother told him he needs to learn some more respect before the baby grows up. The only people on his side are a handful of his cousins, and honestly, they're the type who think women should be seen and not heard, so I'm not shocked. I wonder where he learned this behavior from.
Jesus.
The weird twist is my own dad is furious with me. When I explained the situation, since my husband is ghosting him, he said I was being dramatic and vindictive and that I embarrassed my husband. He sees no problem with my husband calling me disgusting for describing pregnancy and thinks I should have kept him updated anyway because that's your husband and he's the father. So there's the family that is shitty. Her own dad.
That's the part right there. My goodness.
I can't imagine having a daughter, her husband saying that to her and then siding with him. What the fuck?
Yeah.
You're a piece of shit.
You can tell who is also uninvolved.
Yeah.
In those
100%. My mom and brother, on the other hand, are completely on my side and said I was right not to tell someone who clearly didn't want to hear it. Right now, my husband and I are barely speaking. He goes to work, comes home, and avoids me and the baby unless his family is around, because he knows they'll rip into him if he ignores us in front of them. I'm on maternity leave, bonding with my daughter, and honestly, I don't even miss telling him things. I feel more supported by his mom and sister than by him. But part of me wonders if I really did go too far. Was I wrong for shutting him out completely and not even calling when I went into labor? Or was he in the wrong for making me feel like my pregnancy and my body were shameful and disgusting in the first place, and my revenge was completely justified? So am I the asshole?
Absolutely not. First of all, this marriage is done.
Yeah.
This is done.
Yeah.
It sounds like from even the first pregnancy, this fool, like kind of what Josh was saying, he was totally uninvolved. Look, I will say this. I'm a very squeamish person. When it comes to like bodily fluids and all that stuff, I'll be the first one. I'll fucking throw up because I'm a bitch when it comes to that shit. However, husband, you're not the one that went through all that shit. You didn't go through morning sickness. You didn't have to push a goddamn baby out. If all you got to do is take that damn thing, guess what, buddy? You better wear a mask or something to like cover the smell. Something to fucking be there for your wife. And it also, it's not your wife's responsibility to fucking remind you when the baby's coming. You can probably obviously tell that your wife is pregnant. Yeah. Did you not go to those fucking appointments? Did you not show up? No, absolutely not. So did you not, support her? Don't you know, I was gonna say semester, but that's cool. But what trimester? Yeah. they're in currently. Like, where are they at in the pregnancy process? Bet you didn't even fucking plan. Like, how are you gonna take your spouse to the hospital because their due date is coming up soon? So you were already uninvolved in that matter. Yeah. It's just disgusting how you're behaving. It's disgusting how OP's father was behaving. And shout out to everyone else calling out on his bullshit. Because, yeah, this marriage is done, which kind of sucks if they do get a divorce. It is unfortunate because, I'm hoping that, the husband's or hopefully the ex-husband's side will still be there to be, a community for her.
Yeah, I think they would be based on everything we've heard from them.
Which is, I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Right. But but this you don't have a husband.
No.
At this point, you're a single parent.
Well, 100%, and it's very telling when his only he got furious because you embarrassed him in front of his family.
Not they fucking asked.
He's more upset that you embarrassed him in front of his own family than missing the fucking birth. It sounds like.
Yes.
And after the fact, he only doesn't ignore you when the family is around. That's telling to me that's okay, so he's just trying to keep up appearances. He doesn't actually give a shit about you.
Yeah.
Not once in there was there an apology from him. I don't know how far along he called her disgusting, but that could be months up until current time. You know what I mean? That he hasn't apologized or even been you know what, that was fucked up what I said. he just doubled down and then got mad at you, blamed you.
Yeah.
Wasn't there for any of your appointments, which to me is insane. I just, yeah, I this marriage is over and it had like, it's not on you at all. It's your child of a husband who sounds like he has backing of misogynistic pieces of shit on his side of the family. Yeah. So shout out to his mom, sister, aunt, and grandma who supported you, and your own mother and brother. Because we hear about these stories, and then there's so many times where, like John said, it's the entire family just dogpiling on you. But thankfully, you have sane people in your family.
Yeah. This is giving me the other perspective of, this is one of the most viral TikToks we've had too, where I think it goes, my wife won't talk to me anymore. Well, no shit, Sherlock. What do you expect?
I can't imagine why.
Idiot.
Yeah. Well, this fucker doesn't even care, probably.
No.
He's like, oh, she's not talking to me. Thank God. Like,
what a bitch.
Yeah. Reddit deemed not the asshole, obviously. And Product Zilch said, so he's still blaming her for his behavior, avoiding her, and worse, even avoiding his new baby. And his reaction to missing the birth of the child was entirely about how people view him. This man is not devastated about missing an incredible moment. He's just angry because it exposed his nature to those around him, his ego and reputation. I think having him in the room might have had a negative impact on the one actually going through life-risking medical event, and being ignored in the 4th trimester is probably healthier for OOP than whatever she experienced from him if he were talking to her. So, yeah, I mean, I think you got to leave him. This is just like, he's
not good.
It's not healthy for you or the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be in that environment.
Cut off your father as well.
Yeah. I feel like you're not meeting your grandchild.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
You are not teaching them any stupid shit like this.
No. God forbid. All right, let's move on to the next one. Cross-posted by Waxing Dinosaur.
I got a dinosaur shirt, which is perfect.
You do have a dinosaur shirt. Hell yeah. This one is titled, Am I the asshole for asking my girlfriend to tell me what flavor of smoothie she wants?
I mean, no. But if it's their go-to order, would it be nice to have kind of know what they want? But if you're just asking, sometimes they want to try something different. So I don't think it's ever bad to ask, I guess.
Yeah, I think for me, it's like in most scenarios, if I'm going somewhere and we haven't been a bunch of times, I'll ask just to clarify, like, hey, what do you want me to pick you up or something like that?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's just good because, yeah, they could change it up. They could want their regular. You never know. If it's a place we go like every other week, like our burrito spot, I know basically what Sienna wants. If she ever changes it up, that's when she would tell me, hey, I know you're ordering from here. I'm going to change it up.
Yeah, and this is coming from a forgetful person. I showed it in the past, but I do have a note and in my notes app, like, Juliet's to-go orders. And like, hey, if it's the usual, I'm like, oh, what is that? Yeah. I scroll to it. If it's like, hey, I want something different, text me what you want.
Yeah, let me know.
It's that simple. Yeah,
for sure. All right, so I, 24 male, stopped on my way home to pick up a smoothie for my 23 female girlfriend, Evangeline. I'm going to go with that.
Sure.
You could have picked an easier fake name. I'll say that. She's pregnant and is craving smoothies, so I thought it would be a nice surprise for her. She always drinks the strawberry banana smoothie, so that's what I got her. But when I got home and gave it to her, she didn't want it. She said she doesn't feel like the banana and asked me to get her a different flavor. I asked her what kind she wanted, and she said she didn't know. I told her that I need to know what flavor. Evangelina said, just get me what I like. And I told her that I don't know what flavor she likes other than the strawberry banana. She started to get frustrated and said that I know the other one she likes, and I had zero clue. She's never asked me for anything other than the strawberry banana. I repeated myself multiple times that I don't know what she wants, and she started crying and said that I was pressuring her too much over a smoothie. She's been in a bad mood ever since and has barely spoken to me all evening. So, am I the asshole for asking my girlfriend what flavor of smoothie she wanted?
I'm going with no, but there might be, again, two dudes don't really understand how pregnancy hormones go. I'm not going to give her a pass just because she's pregnant, because she still needs to communicate with that. But
she might not honestly know. I will say that's like based on what I've heard from pregnancy. Like
It alters your brain chemistry a lot. So that could be, or, all the reason for it. So again, it sucks for the boyfriend because he's like, fuck, well, what do I
get? He's trying.
He's trying. So I can't fault him for that.
No.
So, I still think she should communicate a little better, but she's going through a lot. So it's hard for me to really call her an asshole in this situation.
Yeah. And obviously he's not the asshole.
No.
I understand. Based on what I've heard from pregnancy hormones, it's like you're craving something, but you don't always know what it is. So you're just guessing at things. So it could just be she's in that type of place where she's just not sure what she wants. And is just like, I just want something. I know I really want something, but I need you to guess. And he's just like, I can't guess. I have no clue what you want. There's so many flavors. You know what I mean?
I've had friends who are pregnant too. There was the things that I really liked before when they were pregnant, they just absolutely hated it. So I don't blame OP at all.
Well, there's you get some weird combination flavors that you crave when you're pregnant. So it could be even what she wants might not be on the menu. You never know. So anyway, Reddit deemed not the asshole. And where were the adults said, no assholes here. This sounds like pregnancy hormones and actions. Lots of changes are going on and her tastes change accordingly. I would suggest a different approach. You went with the, I don't know, tell me approach, and that puts pressure on her. You could try, let me open the menu and see if we can find something you like, which I think is a great approach. It's like, hey, let's go through the menu together. Is there anything that pops out or a few ideas that you're thinking of? That way it's because I know there are people who just, if you just ask them something and they don't have it in options in front of them, they have a hard time choosing.
Yeah. But that's also, that could also be a neurotypical advice, you know what I'm saying? People who, like myself, who suffers from executive dysfunction. I'm just like, what do you want from me unless you tell me exactly what you want?
Yeah, that's Sienna goes through the menu on before we go anywhere. She goes through the menu just so she doesn't feel the pressure of choosing in the moment. So I understand that completely. They go on to say the pickles and ice cream craving is not a myth. Pickles are a good source of electrolytes, and ice cream has fat and calcium, which are things that she needs. So be prepared for her to ask for strange combinations. When she does, go get them. She's working on making a healthy human, and she needs the basic ingredients, which
is fair.
And I don't think he went about this I think he was just trying. I think, putting a menu in front of her and being like, okay, let's go through this together, and just being patient, I think, is the best way to go about this. But she is carrying your child, so
have a little bit more grace for her.
Yeah.
You're doing much better than the first fucking guy.
Oh, way better. Way fucking better. It's an upgrade. We're going
at least you're being thoughtful. It kind of backfired a little bit, but a little patience, but you're doing the right thing. So you're doing good.
Exactly. All right, John, let's move into the third one. Posted on Best of Redditor Updates.
It's going to be a juicy one, huh?
This one's by Throwaway 594297. I guess it's just a throwaway, but title for this one is, am I the asshole for mentioning my best friend's former crush on me in a speech at his wedding?
Why you got to bring it up, bro?
This combines my favorite two things, am I the asshole and wedding shaming. We'll see how this goes.
I'm going to go with yes for now. What was the reason,
Okay. Yeah. I'm currently in a predicament, and frankly, I could really use some opinions. For backstory, I, 27 female, met one of my best friends, Christian, 26 male, back in 2010 during our freshman year of high school. We became friends and remained close over the years since, making a lot of great memories and sharing mutual close friends. From 2013 to 2016, Christian had a pretty serious unrequited feelings for me. However, he eventually got over me, and I have never even let his feelings harm our friendship. If anything, our friendship honestly got closer after he got over me. In early 2018, Christian met Victoria, 29 female, at a bar, and they hit it off. They started dating after 2 weeks and got engaged in late 2021. And the wedding happened yesterday night. It was honestly a great time as I watched with my parents and mutual friends as this kid I've known for 12 years was getting married to the love of his life. Plus, Victoria and I honestly had a pretty decent relationship, and according to Christian, she didn't really seem to care about his past feelings as time went on. Anyway, As the night kept going on with lots of music and dancing, I eventually got up to give a speech for Christian. I talked about how we first met, how much our lives had changed since then, and just how great of a person Christian was. The attendees were clearly touched, and Christian and Victoria both looked happy. As I talked more about our history, I jokingly mentioned how Christian had the hots for me, but that didn't matter because he found his soulmate, and that our friendship was stronger than some unrequited feelings. Most of the crowd laughed, and I could even see Christian smiling for a second before seeing Victoria's confused face. After the speech was over, I went over to the bar with a few friends. Christian came up and hugged me, thanking me for the speech. However, at our hotel, one of my best friends, Devin, 27 female, told me she heard gossips from the bridesmaid that Victoria was really upset with me bringing up Christian's previous feelings for me at the wedding. Apparently, Victoria genuinely had no issue with Christian's feelings, but felt it was inappropriate to mention them at the wedding. I sincerely intended no harm with my actions. Maybe I didn't read the room? Everyone is honestly split on whether I'm the bad guy or not, so it's definitely been polarizing. Christian hasn't mentioned any of this to me, and I'm not sure if I should ask him, am I the asshole?
Okay, so this is a best of Redder update, so there's definitely going to be one. I'm going to go with a soft asshole for now. I think this OP was lulled in a position where they have a very close friendship with Christian, and it seemed like they developed some sort of a friendship with the the current partner. And since they got a little close, OP probably thought like, oh, this is all in the past. Like, we're good friends. It's a jokey joke. It didn't hit quite right, to be honest. So I think there's a time and place for everything. Speeches, bringing up history in the past shouldn't be there, especially if it's someone's big day. You're kind of making it about you now, which is kind of where I'm going soft asshole. You seem remorseful about it. It seemed like you are thinking about like, oh, fuck, I messed up. Hopefully you can go and apologize to Christian. Probably didn't seem like they were tripping about it, but you should definitely say sorry to Victoria for kind of hijacking their special day.
Yeah, I'm personally going to go full asshole here. I think there was no reason for it, right?
Yeah.
You could easily, like this was, again, I said the feelings for you were 10 years ago when you guys were late teens, early 20s, probably, or no, even earlier than that, I think, based on this. And it's like, you could have talked about your friendship, your love for him and Victoria, because that's what a wedding speech is about. It's about them as a couple. And like, it is about your relationship with Christian as well, but it's mostly to set up talking about them as a couple. And it's supposed to be,
you celebrate them.
You're celebrating them. You're highlighting them. It should not be anything else than that.
But, yeah.
And I think you fucked up. So you definitely need to apologize to Victoria. And she might come back and be like, yeah, like, that's fine. I appreciate the apology. I just think, why did you do it? You didn't have to do it.
I'm in place for everything. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. So,
or I think you could have done a better job. It's like, hey, pull Victoria to the side, like, hey, can I make a little jokey joke about this? And if you get a green light, go for it. But if not, then time and place for it.
That's fair too. Yeah. I guess if you cleared it by the couple first, then yeah, absolutely. But it sounds like you didn't. And it sounds like Victoria is hurt. It is her wedding. It's a fair reason to be hurt. Yeah. Apologize. Reddit deemed asshole. And a commenter, so these are some relevant comments, said, oh, you pulled the he was into me first card. He was in love with me, but I turned him down. And so now he's with you. Yeah, you're the asshole. That's very tasteless. And then commenter 2 said, you're the asshole. That was inappropriate. And I'm not sure how you could think otherwise. Wedding speeches should be about the bride and groom, not about you and the groom's history. As a side note, it sort of sounds like you weren't invited to give speeches and just sort of did. Or was there an open mic for speeches? If you just got drunk and took it upon yourself to speak, double you're the asshole for that. Because yeah, she kind of says like during the music and dancing, which by like that
just
point,
unprompted,
by that point, speeches are usually done, right? In my experience, anyway. All right, so there is an edit on the same post the next day. To those of you asking whether the speech was planned or impromptu, I had asked Christian's parents beforehand if I could give a speech, and they were more than happy with it. People have to stop with the assumption that this has anything to do with me having feelings. Yeah, saying that in my speech was probably an idiot move. but my sincere intentions was to tell everyone about our 12 years of friendship and some of its history. And like I said, some people were touched until my fateful joke. So it sounds like she just went to the parents.
Yeah, wrong people asked, to be honest.
Which is like, yeah, it's not their day. So that's crazy.
The asshole is getting harder and harder for me.
I think so. Final edit / update 3 days later. So OP says, I've accepted that I'm the asshole, everyone. I genuinely didn't mean any ill will bringing up the crush. It was really a way to reminisce on me and Christian's history of friendship and how far we had come. But I realize now the wedding was the worst possible time to bring that up, even if Victoria didn't care about the feelings in the past. I talked with Christian for a bit, and having known me for 12 years, he wasn't too mad, as he said he understood. I didn't have ill intention. He did tell me I needed to apologize to Victoria. I told him I wanted to do it anyway, and I called and apologized to Victoria on the phone. We talked for around 2 hours about the whole thing, and she understood I wasn't intentionally trying to hurt either one of them. I said it was unacceptable of me to ruin their wedding day, but Victoria assured me it was still a wonderful day for them. And she was happy I realized my fault. So yes, we're pretty much all good again, and I will watch it more with stuff I say in the future. To all those who gave me feedback in a civil manner, thanks for opening my eyes.
Which is all we care about in terms of people who, do wrong sometimes.
Yeah.
Once you realize you fucked up, you do the right thing and apologize. And that's kind of why why I think initially I went with the soft asshole, because it's like I think they really were lulled into that, like, oh, we're cool, we're fucking, this is a joke that I can make. But yeah, you asked the wrong people. First of all, like, ask the bride and groom first. But the fact that you were humble about it, you're like, hey, I fucked up. You listen to people say like you shouldn't have done that, and you actually did something about it. Good on you, OP. A lot of people will probably just double down and say like, well, I'm just joking. It's just a joke. Good on you.
Yes, I appreciate OP being a mature person and being like, hey, I fucked up. I apologize. And then talking to the person that they, hurt in the process. So, I mean, it sounds like the wedding still went well. It was just a slight hiccup in their night and they were still able to enjoy it. But it's still a great move on you to apologize for, your fuck up and, making amends. And that's what we love to see on this show. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. And we don't see it enough, to be honest.
Honestly, not even close to enough.
We don't see it enough.
God, I'm waiting for that first guy to get on his knees and beg for forgiveness. But that's never going to happen.
Usually it's too late,
Yep. All right, moving on to the next one, posted by Complex Anteater 607 from Best of Redditor Updates again. This one's titled, Am I the asshole for telling people the real reason why I skipped my friend's wedding?
I'm going to go with no. Maybe you had some personal tragedy to happen, family tragedy, and you were kind of vulnerable in the beginning. I'm only saying this as someone who had to decline a groomsman invitation because of personal problems. They understood. So, yeah. But if your friends are pestering you about it and fucking calling you stupid shit, then I don't know. It's kind of unfortunate that you have to open that up. But like, hey, if you want to clear up your name, clear up your name. So I'm going no for now.
All right. So I, 35 female, am still friends with some of the people I went to college with. One of them, Debbie, 36 female, got married this past January after being engaged for 2 years. Early in the planning process, Debbie had asked my 6-year-old daughter, who was 5 at the time, to be a flower girl. We agreed and she had the dress sent to us right away. We barely spoke about the subject for a while. Then the wedding was delayed for almost a year. The original date was March 2024. I'm still not sure why, but I've heard 3 or 4 different reasons. By the time the actual wedding date came around, the flower girl dress did not fit my daughter anymore. We didn't find out until roughly 10 days before the wedding, which is admittedly my fault, and I texted Debbie right away to ask her what I should do about it. And her first reply was, figure it out.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I mean, that's a wild way to go about it. I get the 10-day stress before the wedding, but you kind of want
to take it out on someone else, though.
Right, who's trying to figure it out. again, they probably should have figured out 10 or earlier than 10 days
Sooner?
before the wedding.
Right.
So right now, everyone's kind of an asshole in my opinion.
Yeah.
But,
Debbie being a Debbie Downer though. God damn.
So I tried to ask her where she bought the dress and where I could get a similar one, or whether it would be okay for my daughter to wear a different dress. I basically gave her a list of ways I could fix this and asked her what she preferred, which I would say that's probably a good being like, hey, I can make this work. Just let me know which one you prefer.
Yeah.
Debbie responded with, quote, I don't have time for this. Stop making your whale daughter my problem, end quote.
Oh, Debbie can fuck herself
yeah,
at this point.
Fuck Debbie. Holy shit. Oh, man. Someone called my daughter that? I'm throwing hands.
I'm drowning Debbie in a video game.
Holy fuck. Obviously, I decided against attending the wedding after that. As far as I'm concerned, we're no longer friends. And to be clear, I know that up until this point, I was not the asshole. I didn't tell anyone about it at first, but our absence was obviously noticed by my friends. And my daughter was supposed to be the only flower girl. Whenever Debbie was asked about it, she apparently just said we had an argument, but it wasn't a big deal. When our mutual friends and acquaintance asked me, I told them the truth without sugarcoating it or trying to defend Debbie. I even showed my friends the text message that proved everything. And everyone took my side. Which, I mean, hard to go on the other side of that one. About a week ago, Debbie called me. She apologized for what she said about my daughter, but told me I have no idea the stress she was under at the time. She said it wasn't...
fuck, bro?
Yeah, what the fuck? She said it wasn't fair for her to lose friends over a mistake she made when she was under so much pressure. Again, I don't think I was wrong for skipping the wedding, but I'm wondering whether I took it too far by telling our mutuals why. So am I the asshole?
No, stress, I understand. Us both being in, having been in a wedding, I can understand like the deadlines and all that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't excuse you for being a piece of shit to someone else and calling someone's daughter that way. Boy, you're lucky OP didn't put hands on you, Debbie, because if someone ever calls any of my family members that, I will be throwing fucking hands, feet, and any other appendages I fucking have.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's one thing if she was like, fuck OP, like this sucks. I wish you would have told me earlier, and like kind of directed more of her anger towards OP. But directing at the daughter who has zero like accountability in this,
nothing
like
to do with it. Right.
They grew after a year of, you know, when it was planned to be, which is what kids do, you know.
Hello, like my God, I've seen kids grow shoes in like 2 months.
Exactly.
Like, are you kidding me? A year is forever.
Yes.
Plus, it's not their fault that you know. I mean, it's not their fault that the wedding got delayed. If anything, the Debbie should have communicated better. Like, hey, this is the new timeline. And even though like it's kind of hard to blame OP about like, you know, their timing and all that, because
yeah,
she has her own life to deal with too, right?
Yeah,
like,
of course,
that's fair.
That's fair.
Wedding probably it's not their number one priority at this point because they have a kid to take care of, obviously. So man, fuck Debbie, bro.
No, 100%.
You know what? Thank God you lost friends for that, because who fucking knows what else you be texting your other friends about your other friends if you can talk to someone like that. Man, fuck you, Debbie.
Absolutely. Yeah. In my opinion, it's just insane to take it out on OP's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, again, like I do think 10 days is wild not to check beforehand, but like you said, they are busy. The time did change. Like the wedding did change over a year. You kind of forget about things when you have kids, I'd imagine. Still, you know, slight asshole for that, but completely forgiven for skipping the wedding and telling your mutuals after she's called your daughter a whale. Fuck that.
Yes.
Fuck that.
I'll whale her myself, you bitch. Debbie, what the fuck, bro?
That is insane. And then crying to you about losing her friends. That's on you. That's on you for doing that. You could have handled that so much better. And I get stress, like wedding planning stress. Absolutely. I understand that. But I'm not taking that out on innocent children.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. So there was an edit and OP said, yes, I know I should have made sure the dress still fit sooner. I already know that was my mistake. I'm not blaming Debbie for it. That's not what I'm asking about, which I think is fair. The question is asking about telling the mutuals about why they skipped the wedding. So OP was voted not the asshole, but there were several you're the assholes as well, which I think is insane to say you're the asshole and not everyone sucks. even if you think OP does suck, like it's crazy to be like.
Not saying Debbie has anything to do with that fucking reaction is crazy word.
Yeah, crazy. So some relevant comments. Not the asshole. Doesn't matter how stressed and overwhelmed you are. You never talk about a child or an adult in that way. To which OP responded, said, that's part of the reason why I believe I might have been the asshole. I don't believe she would have talked about my daughter that way if she wasn't extremely stressed out. Obviously not an excuse, but certainly something I have to take into consideration. So, I mean, OP is taking accountability for their fuck up, but
yeah,
again,
they felt like they dropped the ball in some sense, but that is never an appropriate response for anything.
This one says, everyone sucks, dress doesn't fit, then go to the seamstress or order alterations. If it can't be saved, buy a different one. She said, figure it out. It's not rocket science. And how didn't you expect that kid had grown? But calling a child a whale is also an asshole move. To which OP responded, said, I've said this elsewhere, but I'm not dealing with something like this without being certain how I should do it. What if I bought a different one and she didn't like it? I agree I should have had my daughter try it on sooner, but again, I don't think asking Debbie how I should fix this was a mistake. And then several commenters voted you're the asshole due to the fact OP didn't make sure the dress fit her daughter sooner. Some are openly insulting her, while many are accusing her of harassing the bride, playing victim, or lying to her friends. Here are some of her replies to those, which I think is insane based on the context.
Oh, there's receipts. How is she lying?
Yeah, literally, there's a text message that she's showing her friends.
Some of y'all, man, sometimes people on Reddit got zero reading comprehension.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I did apologize for the sizing mishap. Having read the comments, I don't think I owe her an apology. I didn't come here for validation, but most people seem to be judging me for not checking the dress, not for telling people what happened. They say to a different comment, from what I've gathered, people have approached Debbie about this, and she has had the opportunity to present her side of what's happened to our mutual friends. Either it's the same thing I said, which is literally what happened, or it was simply not enough to get people to agree with her. There is no doubt whether she insulted my daughter or whether I was asking for her directions. Both these things are factual, and I have provided people with evidence. I have also informed my friends I took way too long to check the dress. I have no reason to lie about that. So people claiming that she's lying is crazy based on all of this. But there is an update 6 months later, John, which was a couple weeks ago.
They fought.
So after my posts back in March, I didn't hear anything from Debbie for a while. I did speak to my friends a lot, and they told me that she did continue to try and get them on her side for a while. From what I gathered, her story always matched mine. I forgot to make sure the dress fit. I apologized and asked her how she preferred I fixed it. She insulted my kid. And as I remember discussing in the comments, whale of a daughter is a better translation. I guess they're translating it. Everyone continued taking my side. Apparently, I wasn't the only one Debbie had problems with before the wedding. My case was just the worst one. There's no doubt that this dress fiasco was my fault. I had a lot going on at the time and several reasons why I forgot to make sure it fit sooner. But no excuse can change the fact that I messed up. But I still don't think giving Debbie options of how I could proceed was the wrong move. I've been a bride before, and I wouldn't want someone else making a decision about my wedding without giving me final say. And I can't ignore that her reaction was to insult my daughter. Debbie first texted me in June. She asked me for help to clear the air with everyone because most of our mutuals hadn't spoken to her since April. I was tired of all this, so I told everyone that Debbie had already apologized to me. I made it very clear that while we are no longer friends, I sincerely don't care whether they remain in contact with her or not. She texted me once again early July. She told me that a couple of our mutuals were talking to her again, but it wasn't the same as it used to be. She asked me whether I was still mad at her, and I told her I'm not, and I wish her the best, but I don't think we can continue this friendship. I said I was sorry for the dress fiasco, and I understood that she was stressed at the time, but I'll never be able to look past what she did. It would have taken her less time to give me directions than it took to call my daughter a whale. I can forgive the rudeness with time, but not insults, especially towards my children. We haven't spoken since. I haven't blocked her, but I have no intentions of reaching out again. And I don't think she does either. Some of our mutuals are still speaking to her again. Both my best friends from that group still want nothing to do with her. I sincerely don't care what anyone does. I won't pretend this has never happened, but I've moved on. Like I said, I'm not mad anymore. My daughter will be a flower girl at my cousin's wedding in December, and my family is doing very well. Life has been crazy for a while, but things are finally getting calmer. I won't post here again. Thank you for your time.
Well. If it isn't the consequences of Debbie's actions, it feels good to be back, baby. I was waiting all day to see that.
I knew there was going to be some sort of whale pun. I had a feeling.
But yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, OP recognized that they had their shortcomings and they were willing to accept the, all right, if Debbie was pissed off at me because of my irresponsibility, then I'll accept that. But drawing the line of insulting like your daughter is a boundary that like everyone should have, you know what I'm saying? So it's good that she cut Debbie off. And it's also good that, you know, she kind of cleared the air, say like, hey, she already apologized, whatever you want to do and how you want to proceed to everyone else, do you? But I'm not going to have that anymore in my life. So good on OP for, I guess, you know, washing her hands in that situation. She still admits that she has her faults, which again, not a lot of people are willing to admit that they were wrong. So in a way, she was a little sucky in the situation, but taking accountability and, you know, being mature about this whole situation, she seems like a decent person to me.
Yeah, and I agree with most of what you said. We've already talked about all of it, but yeah, it is crazy. Again, just again, it would have been one thing if Debbie had been like, "Fuck OP, I don't need this fucking stress right now. You're stressing me out." Like took it out on OP and been like, "This is crazy. You didn't check earlier." Like that's one thing. But to jump immediately to just insulting her daughter really shows me who you are as a person. You're finding some way just to hurt OP, and that was the first thing you thought of. That's fucked up. And I wouldn't want that person as a friend either. Yeah, OP did, you know, made a mistake. Again, that wasn't the question, Reddit. So fucking read the titles.
Yep.
And OP even in the story was like, yeah, this is my bad. I fucked up.
Yeah, I fucked up. Right.
This is not what I'm asking about. So yeah, crazy. And I hope your daughter has a great time being a flower girl at your cousin's wedding.
Yeah, I mean, and it seems like they are going to communicate with you properly to OP. So.
Well,
but prepared better this time. All right.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't change. Within a year. So, all right, John, let's move into the final one before we hit the Patreon. If you want 2 more stories, go to patreon.com/cultivate podcast network or click join on our YouTube channel to get that bonus content. This last one is posted by Wayne Kidnaird. And the title for this one is, "Am I the asshole for refusing to leave my apartment for a day because of my Muslim roommate's conservative mom?"
That's your apartment. The fuck? Have them go somewhere else.
Okay.
Not the asshole.
I figured based on that response. All right. So I, 23 male, live in a college apartment with 2 roommates, both of which are women. And one of them is Muslim. Let's call her Sana. We get along pretty well, and we have lived together for over a year with no issues. Yesterday, Sana told us her mom was visiting for the upcoming weekend. For info, her mom is very conservative and religious, and apparently doesn't approve of her daughter living with male roommates, which is awkward because I exist. As a result, Sana asked if I could leave the apartment entirely for the day her mom was visiting, like be out for the whole day and even find somewhere else to sleep overnight. I told her I wasn't comfortable with that because I had a major assignment due, and I focus best when I'm working from home. I also didn't want to have to pack up all my stuff and go stay somewhere else, just to keep up an appearance for someone I don't even know. Additionally, I pay equal rent, and I felt like I had the right to be in the apartment. Still, to try and compromise, I offered to stay in my room for the entire day and be quiet on the condition that I'd at least be allowed to quickly come out to make lunch or dinner, or they could just bring food to my room so I wouldn't starve. I genuinely thought that was fair and respectful. But no, Sana wasn't happy with that and insisted I should be out of the apartment entirely. She said her mom would freak out if she found that a guy lived there, and it would cause a lot of drama in her family. I said, well, I understood her position. I wasn't going to dip from my own home, especially with a big deadline hanging over me. She's still pissed and being pretty cold towards me now, and also vented to our other roommate, who stayed neutral and said she saw both sides. I really wasn't trying to be disrespectful or difficult. I understand her cultural situation, but I also feel like it's unfair to expect someone to completely vacate their home just to accommodate someone else's family beliefs, especially when I tried to find a middle ground. So am I the asshole?
Absolutely not. And it's good that OP recognizes that there might be, cultural differences between the two, but I also think accommodation goes both ways. If you want somebody to, let's say, clear out an area, then it would be up to, what was the roommates again? Sana or something like that. it would be up to Sana to make said accommodations to make OP also feel comfortable, because they're asking OP to make their mom comfortable, right? So if I was Sana in that situation and be like, hey, would you mind if I, Venmo you for like a hotel stay, or can I get you, pay for your food for the rest of the day, your accommodation, so that way you're comfortable while I'm asking you for this favor. But the fact that she just wants him out of the room altogether when he pays equal rent, when he offered a compromise saying like, bro, I won't even leave the room.
Yeah.
Can you just make sure that I'm fed and I'm good? And hell, that's also, I don't know if there's a situation where he has his own bathroom. But still, like, would he be trapped there just fucking having a bucket to use? Like, what's going on here? And like, it's also going to be hard to mask if guys just smell different, right? It's also going to be hard too. Like, what if your mom wants to tour the house? Like, why is there a locked door there? Of course, there are probably going to be guyish things in that room. So
yeah,
it's one of those things where, yes, I understand. Like, there are people who are, more on that side in terms of their beliefs, but homeboy also lives there, paying equal rent, everything. I think Sana did a terrible job of setting up the situation, or if anything, take them somewhere else. Like, maybe you stay in a hotel with your mom or something, because you're fucking up people's situations here.
No, I agree. I think OP tried to be reasonable and was like, hey, we can make some compromises here where, I stay in my room the whole time. She doesn't have to see me that much, which I think is fair. Like, for him to try and compromise is fair. And like John said, if she wanted him out that badly, it's like, okay, well, offer him a hotel room or something, like accommodations or something like that, or be like, hey, I'll buy you food for the week or something, like some sort of like incentive for him to do this, because like you said, he pays equal rent. He has a due date for an assignment. I get that, like being stressed out about that and wanting to be home where you can comfortably study and stuff like that. So yeah, I think OP went about it the right way. And I think, I get that she's probably under stress from her, conservative parents. I feel that goes for any religion. So it doesn't have to be just one particular religion. I've heard, very Christian conservative parents that are not okay with boy and girl living together.
Hell, we had a story in a Patreon where they were married and they still can't sleep next to each other.
We did. And Reddit agreed and said, not the asshole. OP does put an edit. Says, Sana never chose to have male roommates, but it just so happened that she was practically bullied out of her own old apartment, which was all female, for a conflict involving another girl, and this was her last resort. Also, I'm so disheartened to see so much hate in the comments, and it enlightened me to be kinder and more understanding to Sana and her situation. This was never meant to start a debate in the comments, and I urge everyone to have more empathy and humanity. I can only imagine the hate comments.
Nah. I hate that, because they offered a damn compromise, bro. And it is, to me, look, I empathize with Sana's situation. If like what Josh is saying, like that pressure is hard. Yes. And it's like, being kicked out of your situation, being kind of forced into this, but I don't think homeboy is doing anything particularly bad. No. I think he's offering so much other compromise. You got to meet people halfway if you're asking them for a favor. If anything, if you're the one asking for the favor, you're the one that's supposed to be going a longer way to make sure that person you're asking, gets what they deserve, or at least gets more comfortable than what they should be. But I don't get the hate comments on this.
Well, I think the hate comments were not directed towards OP, but towards Muslims, I feel like.
Oh, ew.
Yes,
stop. People,
I let you go on your rant, but I was like, that's not where the hate comments are directed for sure.
Oh my God, man, y'all fucking weird, bro. Just because you don't understand something.
Well, it's like I said, it has nothing to do with like religion. They're just conservative, like very conservative people who have these views, whether they're religious or not, whether they're Muslim or Christian, whether they're atheist or Christian. You know what I mean? Like, there are just conservative people who have these thoughts. I don't agree with them, but I just don't think it should be like a hate on one religion type deal. It's all sorts of people.
Unless they start doing stupid shit, so then you can.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is kind of stupid to get mad at your daughter for living with a male roommate, but not my thing to jump in on. But OP continues on with her edit and says, I will be going home and asking a friend if I can stay over for a day. For everyone concerned about how, if I let it pass now, that it will happen again and again, I will speak to Sana about this properly and urge her to talk to her mom. Thanks for all the level-headed and empathetic comments I did get that helped me understand her perspective better, as I do care for her greatly and never wanted to hurt her if I can help it. One day isn't going to be the end of the world, and if it helps her, I've realized I'd be happy to do it. So, OP is going to...
You're a better person than I'll ever be, OP.
What?
You got me fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, he does sound like a genuinely good person, so shout out to OP. And then I do hope he does have a conversation with her and Sana realizes that, like, she does live with a male roommate. I don't know if she was like... Or
that's the reality of the situation.
It is the reality of the situation, and if your mom doesn't like it, then she should shell out more to have you live somewhere else. But
talk that shit, Josh.
That is it for this episode, Wikimaniacs. What did you think? Let us know down in the comments. Give us a like, subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you listen to the podcast.
Call to action with YouTube. I think there's a feature now where the first 7 days of a video drop, you can, it should be like on a tab somewhere where it says you can hype the video. I think you can hype videos up to 3 times a week. What happens is there will be kind of like a leaderboard, and it's usually for channels that has less than 100,000 subscribers, if I'm not mistaken. But what it does is YouTube kind of boosts the algorithm and the searchability of our show. So if you want to support us that way, it's a good way for our show to get discovered by other people as well. So again, it's called the hype button, and it's somewhere on YouTube. I posted it on Instagram before, so I can repost it again just so you guys can get like a detailed instruction on how to do it.
Yeah, and if you don't see it, it might not. There's a chance it's not available in your country, because I know they test things out in certain countries, usually the US as well. So, go check that out. We'd appreciate that to hype us up. If you want 2 bonus stories, head to patreon.com/cultivate podcast network or hit join on our YouTube channel. You get 2 stories about some weird husbands. Let's go with that.
Weird.
If you want merch, go to redonwikishop.com. You get the Kitty Rich merch designed by one of our goats, Ryan. Go check that out. We also have the Emo Ween merch up right now so that you can wear it for October. Spooky season.
Yeah.
It's coming around the corner. It was cold today.
It's not a phase, Mom. It's not a phase.
So go check that out, redonwikishop.com. John, is there anything else we want to shout out before we close out the episode?
Nothing. redonwikishop.com. And again, all like 50% of those profits will go towards a charitable cause. This month, it's going to be going to, let me find it again, Best Friends Animal Society, and everything that you guys sent to Sean, that's going to go directly to support causes for people in Palestine. So shout out to everybody.
Absolutely. And if you want to get involved in the Fantasy Goat League, check out the Discord, link in the description. And also, if you would like to donate to Parmesan's 5K run, go check that out. Also be linked down below. It's for the Children's National Hospital Foundation, a great cause. So go check that out. John, welcome back for the rest of until you leave again, but
I'll leave again. Every month I will be gone.
Month, yeah, it's basically. So we appreciate you having back, giving your takes today. Thank you, Wikimaniacs, for another amazing episode. We'll see you on Monday. Bye.
Bye.
Get therapy.